Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So today we will recreate this one here. And yeah, and we will do this with a free plugin and without plugin. So with the free plugin Hot4D, I did this one. But something similar is possible without the plugin as well. So, and I want to show you the way with and without plugin. We will render it in Octane and physical render. This will be a little longer tutorial because with physical render we will have to. I didn't try it with physical render, I just have ideas. But we will not get this nice result. I don't think so. And if, then it will render forever. So it's more for a still then. And yeah, the Hot4D plugin comes with the possibility to create foam maps, but I didn't use this. I used my own foam maps here, and I want to show you how I did my own foam. And this is in Octane, of course, and I will try it with physical render as well. And for physical render, I have two ideas how we can make the foam. And yeah, I would say, yeah, first, before we start, one thing on my own behalf. Once a year I want to say I have a Patreon site, if you may know. So and meanwhile on this Patreon site, if you are a patron, you have access to far over 300 exclusive posts. I mean, project files, texture packs, miscellaneous downloads, scripts, whatever. And yeah, I just want to tell this once a year. So and you have this with the 450 here, you can do everything almost. So with €9 you can download the Nikomedias Scene Rig Pro as well, and which costs normally €10. So and here you get everything, and one is just to say, hey Nico, I appreciate what you do, I respect what you do, and this is the €1 a month. And of course, if you are a patron, even a €1 patron, you will have priority when you have questions and requests, or yeah, patron requests, tutorial requests always come first, and yeah, and so on. I think you know what I mean. So you will find the link to my Patreon site in the description. If you want to be a patron, I would be really happy, and I appreciate it very much. And yeah, thanks in advance, and thanks to all my supporters, all my patrons I have now, and I don't know what I can say. I'm really thankful. Okay, so let's start with the tutorial, I would say. So okay, we start with an hemisphere. So yeah, as I said, I will use some different things and maybe some new tricks you don't know or something else, we'll see. And I will make, as I said, a physical render and Octane render version, but I will put a time code in the description, so when the physical render part starts and then when the Octane render part starts, so that the Octane people don't have to watch the PR version and vice versa. So okay, good, let's make a sphere, and I want a hemisphere here. It's all time in the wrong direction for me, so okay, give it more segments here, 100 should be fine. And yeah, now we don't have to close this hole and everything because we use the volume builder. But if you want to close this hole, if you don't have the volume builder or something else, you can close this, of course, with there are different close polygon hole, and but then you or I want to show you this is how you can close it quickly. So of course you have to make it editable. So I make currently the object, so I don't have to make this again. So I go in my edge mode with UL, I select the edges here, T for scale, and now hold my control key and scale it down in a few steps so I have some things here, go down, 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 down until I am closed here. So, and here I could say MD for close polygon hole and try to make some cuts inside. But I made a small script which makes it quite easy if you have something like this. This is make quotes and you get something like this. Yeah, Patreon can download this script later on. I'm not sure if it's already on my Patreon site or not, but I will put it on my Patreon site. If not today, during the weekend for sure. So you can download this, and it's not only this quote thing. There is another thing, another script, as you can see. Let's say you make a polygon, make some segments here, make it editable. Oops, C on the keyboard. Now I want to select the outline here, so I can do this with UL in the edge mode. So in the edge mode, UL. So now here, okay. And I go now in point mode, so I hold my control key and click on point mode, so I convert this. And now let's say I want this circle, this points should be a circle, so I click on my points to circle grip, and you have a nice circle. And this now could fit this as well. So when we go now to 4 here, so T for scale, scale this, and you have something like this, you see. So this is the second script here, so make points, make circle and make quotes. Good. This is yes. So let's delete this. But we simply put this in a volume builder. As I said, I want some more segments here. We can change this to any time because we will stay parametric. So, and put this in a volume builder. This is the next small script I will have for me, and you can already download it on Patreon. Normally you have to put this, so you can go to volume builder, put this in the volume builder, then you make a volume measure. Whoops, put this in the volume measure, and then you have what you want. But with my script, just simply select your object, hold the Alt key, click on the script, and everything is done. So here I want smaller voxels, and because we have the hole on top, we have to go here to sphere, optimize and close holes, and we get our thing here. Okay, now we could make this editable and play with it, but we don't have to make it editable, so we can stay with this later if we want small, because when I go to render I will go down to 1 here or something else, I get more details. But for the moment, and here now, let's start without the Hot4D plugin. And we do this with a simple displacer. So this we have here in the deformers, the displace deformer, somewhere down here or maybe. Yeah, this is the problem when I have more monitors on it and have this set to 1080. Shift C, you find everything with Shift C. Displacer, you see, double click it, and now I can put the displacer under the volume measure. Here this would work, but I don't want to go every time in the volume measure, so I drag it up, put the volume measure in a null object with Alt G, and then I bring the displacer in the null object. So this works as well, and so I don't have to go every time in the volume measure. So now we want to displace something. Let's go into the noise. Cool. I go here to world and make it bigger. So, but okay, this is something okay, but we don't want the noise on the hemisphere itself. So we can restrict the displacer. It's no problem with fields here. So let's make a linear field. Drag it to -y. Normally I take always the wrong one and I think this is again, yeah, it's again the wrong one, plus wise. So you see, we don't have it on the thing, so we have it just where we want it. Let's say something like here. And we want, of course, a little higher displacements. Intensity centered is okay. This intensity centered means it goes in both direction, up and down. And if you go to intensity, it goes just in one direction. It just goes up here. So, okay. So, but now we have these bulges here. This we want, of course, not. But first let's take another shading, other noise here, a nicer noise. And I found out what I like is this for the water. It's down there, so let's go up a little bit. The displaced water noise looks quite nice for water, but this has to be big, 1500. And of course we want to animate this later, so let's see. 0.2, and I have 200 frames, means 8 seconds, so we should loop 8 seconds. We get this, which already looks quite nice, but as I said, we don't want these ugly bulges, so for this we make another field. We make a spherical field and we multiply it here. So nice. Now we can go with the spherical field a little out here until with that, okay. And with this, so let's see what we get. Okay, a little bulge maybe is okay, but it's on you how you want to do it. That looks quite nice. This can make it a little higher here. So, but you see here some ugly edges sometimes. We can avoid this with a smooth deformer. So let's go to here. Here's we have a smoothing deformer. And you see my smoothing deformer is by default at iterations 1 and stiffness 0. Normally it's here, I think, at 30 and iterations. I don't know now, but this is my start with this, and I bring it under the linear field, or I don't have to have the fields inside here. I bring it out here and bring the smoothing under the displacer. It smoothes a little down, but I don't want to smooth too far, because you see then we lose some, we lose our details. But in this case, we could try another thing, just an idea now. Make this even higher. So we have this nice. But in this case, we always have this edge here, so we don't go under it. And this looks nice, but this is interesting. I want to try now another thing. Let's go to 80. This is, we can, after the smooth deformer, we could use another displacer. I copy this displacer here and put this on top of the other displacer and give this another shading. Let's say here a Naki or something else, but not as big. Or let's say it's a 500 maybe. But and of course not so high. This is, we need it here just a little bit so that we get additional details. And in this displacer I want the same fields here. So I could get the field. Oh, we have the same fields in here. Why do they not? They should work here. Let's see. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. Let's give the second displacer even more details. Let's go to 200 here. Okay, it's not so high. And of course we get better details when we go to the volume builder here and set this to 1. Of course it's slower then, but we get the nice details in here. Yeah, and we have some nice water here going on. This is the first way, so but we have always this edge here, so and maybe we don't want this. So let's take this now and name it way number 1. Okay, way number 1. So, and let's save this whole thing. OCEANSPHERE tutorial. Okay. Now we want to make something that we can go under the sphere. For this we steal something. Let's hide this one. We steal something here. What we steal is the volume measure, control track, so I copy it out. And I don't need here a hemisphere, I need here icosahedron. The displacers, yeah, I utilize this displacer, control track it down, and the spheres I don't need this fields in here, so this is what I need from this one here. Let's make a backup folder here. So I have again a small script with the backup folder, makes a null, names it backup, hides it, that's it. So okay, save it. And now we want to subtract a displaced cube out from this sphere. So hope that makes sense. We make a cube. Great. The cube must be here bigger and bigger so that it covers for sure the whole sphere. And here I go, so let's see, here to the middle. This is how we can then do whatever we want here, so it's just for the moment. Okay. And of course when we put this cube now in the volume builder and tell it, hey, subtract this, we get again our sphere. Let's go to 2 for the moment. Okay, and now I simply want to displace my cube and subtract it from the sphere. But of course to displace the cube we need a lot of subdivisions on the cube here. So we can do it like this. We can go here to, let's say, 100 by 100, but I need it only on this side, the displacement. So this, we don't need the lots of other segments here. It costs only calculation time. So how can we do this? It's quite easy. There are more ways as well, 2 in my case. The first thing is we make this cube editable. So current state object, and I hide this cube for the moment for later. So this is now editable. That means I can select a polygon. So I go in polygon mode, select this polygon, and I want to store the selection here. I have it in my toolbar, store selection. You will find under select, store selection here. Okay. I have here the store selection, and now this is from Maxon, a free plug-in collection. You should know it meanwhile, the Pi parametric tools. If you don't know it, if you don't find it, you can download it on my website from my Dropbox, because unfortunately Maxon does not longer have these tools on their site. I don't know why they deleted it, but I have it on my Dropbox and you can download it from my Dropbox. Don't know if this is okay or not, but yeah, they are here because they are useful and we should have it. And here we have a shift mod, not a shift modifier, further down we have a subdivide modifier. How can I get to this? Yeah, pi Shift C, pi parametric tools. This no, so not pi. How is it called? Come on. Pi. Okay. Pi subdivide modifier. It will be so. Shift C. Pi subdivide modifier. Slide subdivide modifier. Here it is. Double click it, and in the subdivide modifier we have a field for polygon selection. You don't have this field in the generator. That's the reason I use the modifier. So I simply put the modifier under the cube, and we see immediately we have subdivisions here. But I want it only on our selection here. So I have it only here. And now when I go up with the selections, you see I have only my selections where I need it and nowhere else. And this is exactly perfect for us. But what if we want to stay parametric? We don't want to edit our cube here, make it editable. So delete this, bring in the cube here. So now we are in 25 and we have nodes. And with nodes we can do this as well without make this cube editable. So let's go to here and let's go to the nodes. Oops, and in the nodes, first I need a selection, and I need this select facing, so I can say which face should be selected. So bring it under my cube. In this case, it should be the minus or plus. I don't try it with minus. One of these two it's now selected. And now I go to the modifier, and here I have a subdivide modifier. Bring this under the select facing. And I have the right one, and now simply go up with the subdivisions. Have here what I want. Let's go to 100 subdivisions here. And I did not even have to make my cube editable. See? Perfect. This is exactly the correct thing for us, the nice thing for us. And now let's bring the displacer under the subdivide here. Where everything is subdivided nicely, bringing this displacer. We don't care about these ugly things here. That doesn't matter because we don't see it. We just subtract it. But we can avoid this if we don't want to see it. We go to the displacer and say, instead of the vertex normals, we can do this planar, and in the -y, and it looks little nicer. So okay, and now we simply go to our cube, to the volume builder, bring the sphere back, and say here we want to subtract the cube. Now we have here something like this, and if we play, we go under the thing here, and we have a nice, this is too high I think. Go to 50, and this already looks really nice, wavy. And here we could do the same. We can go to our displacer here, shading. Let's say I want just 2 octaves that looks then like this, and on top of these waves I can make another displacer again. So I copy this displacer and bring. First I make here, go to 10 or something else, and here I want different shading, of course. Go back to my Naki again and bring this to, let's say, 100, and we have a nice second movement on it, and it really looks nice. So, but maybe we are a little, here I want more octaves in the Naki. Let's go back to 5. We don't see it here really because we are quite low with the voxel size here. Let's go up with the voxel size. Now we see much more, and the displacer is too high I think. I'll get a 5 here. And look at this, we have a really nice, yeah, okay, then stop it, NA, let's see. So here we have this ugly bulges in here. We could avoid this with smoothing on top of all, but it takes us away a lot of details. In this case it would be okay because we can even put a bump in our shading, in our shader later, or even a displacement or something else. So, but here when I go to 1, it should be quite fine. But we want to smooth it only on the edges here. So we can go with something like Laplacian flow. You see, but this does not fix this here. So I don't do this, but the Laplacian I want to, you see, that it doesn't take much of it, but this we can avoid, simply go to sphere and give it more subdivisions, 200, whoop, gone. So and now, of course, this with this focus size of 1 is now slower. If you want here a real-time preview, you can, of course, bake the whole volume measure here, bake it to an alembic, and you get a real-time preview. But in our case, it's not necessary. The nice thing here, of course, is when you say, I don't want to see so much of my ocean. Yeah, then simply go to the cube, whoops, and drag the cube down. When I say, okay, this is too high, let's go to our first. This is the display is so big, and the other one is the small one. So, and down here with the height to 30 or something else, so we don't have just steep waves, but I think this is okay. Nice. So these are these two things without plugin, and I really like this one. So, and now let's go to the Hot4D plugin. I will put a link in the description for the Hot4D plugin. There is one thing, should I do this my own foam thing before or later? No, later. Now we will make this so that we have the rendering things separately. Okay, this is our way number 2. So I disable everything what could maybe I'm not sure if when I just hide it, I think they still calculate something. But anyway, Alt G, this is way number 2. Whoops, and in the backup. For way number 3, we steal something from here again. We steal the volume measure here. And more we don't need for now. So this is the way 1. Doesn't matter. Give this here 200, and then we have 200. Then we have a smooth mesh here. Yes, and we want bring back the. This is maybe a little too dense. Should be for now. Should be okay with 2. And here I make this volume measure here editable. So current state to object, and I can disable this. Current state to object, by the way, you find here some current state to object. Good. We have this now. Now let's bring in the 1 second, please. So back. Yeah. Let me think. There are 2. I make a new file just to show you how the foam shader works in for the vertex map for the foam shader. So this is for Octane and physically the same. So it's for both people. I make a simple new project and make a polygon. I prefer the polygon instead of the plain, because so I have just one thing where I changed the segments, and that's okay. 200 by 200, make it here 200. That's mesh, so okay. And yeah, and I had NA to hide my thing. So as I said, there are two different ways in Hot4D. There are the Hot4D object, it's a deformer, more than less, and the effector. The effector works like you would expect an effector to work. I did not try it in the cloner or so, but if you use the effector, bring it under the thing, under the object. In this case, I go to deformer and said I want to affect the points, and you immediately see that it does something. We have here the 0, 0, and now we have this, and we have this wave. This is the way. But in the effector you don't have settings. So Ocean Simulator, you have settings, you have almost the same, so could work with this as well. It doesn't matter which one you use. Here you can so we get more details in this thing. Of course it's slower then. Yeah, that would work exactly like the other one, but I use the deformer. So I bring it under my polygon, this is the deformer, so here. Okay. Let's go down with the scale here, so, and a loop time of 200 in my case. I have 200 frames, and we have this nice wave. Okay. Now, how do we get the foam shader here, so that we have? It's not that easy. You see in the settings here, you have two things. You have a J- map we need, and a foam map what we need. The problem here is, you see, we need a vertex color tag, not a normal vertex map. So, and I want to show you how it can work. So, to activate the whole foam thing, you have to activate Jacobian here. So J- and foam, we need a map. So that means I have to make my polygon editable, so that I can make a vertex map. So hit C on the keyboard and it's editable. Now I go in point, edge or polygon mode, doesn't matter. I go in polygon mode here and select and set vertex weight. 0 is okay. Now you have seen we could convert the map to a color map, but I do it the other way. This is okay so far. I'll go back in polygon mode, so, and bring back the line so we see it better. And now I double click on my vertex map here, because it does not work with the vertex map. We need a color map. So, and I go here from vertex map to color with alpha and set apply all. Now I have a vertex color tag. I can delete the first one and have a vertex color tab here. See, vertex color. I name this the J-, and I simply copy this one and name it foam. Okay, now we go to Hot4D, drag the J- in the J- slot, and we should see something. When I click on this vertex, you see we have something. Now we go to the foam, and in here I drag the foam in the foam map thing here. So I see nothing at the moment. Let's hide the edges again. I see nothing at the moment, but when I hit play, you see we get this foam map working, and this you can use in your shader as to mask out or something, also, or just to color change and so on. I have shown this often in my tutorials with the vertex map to texture with vertex maps. But okay, this is this, and here you have the threshold and everything. So let's go. up here, so we have less foam, which looks in this case much better, I think. Yeah, but we cannot use in our case with the sphere ocean, with the ocean sphere, we cannot use this wave thing here. So I close this. We cannot use this wave because we would get foam here on the hemisphere on the sides as well, and this looks terrible. So if you want it, you can do it with the foam wrapper, but we will create our own foam webs. But they are not so exactly like this, and they are not so accurate, but they do their job. So good. So now let's bring in the hot 4D here. We have our sphere here. Sorry. So back. We select this and bring in the hot 4D. The deformer, not the effector. Hold my shift key, click on it, zack. So it works on the whole object here. That's okay. We are not afraid about this because we know how to restrict this. We have here the same with fields, and we simply use our linear field, -y, make it a little smaller, and drag it to where we want it. You see, so I want it like here where it starts, so it stops here. So okay, like this here. Okay, let's try this now. Looks not bad, but it bulges a little out. But that's if it's okay for you. So this is bulgy. It does not look bad at all. So, but we get here quiet. The cool thing is we can scrub through. We have here this edge here, and I think I have here something like active job. When I disable this, no, it does not really help. Anyway, we can avoid this as well. So with the simple second field again. So spherical field, multiply. Now I make it big so that so something like that. Bring this out. Maybe so. Yeah, that looks nice. Maybe not. Let's see what we can do here. Everything, so we can go up with the resolution, of course. So this, that's cool, but maybe the size of the ocean. Do we have it at 400? Go to 200 here. Yeah, that looks much better. Now it goes down a little bit. This is what I want. But this choppiness, yeah, better. I would say yes. Okay. Now there is a nice thing with this hot 4D. What I like is the wind alignment. Make this a little, so you get this nice wind thing here. So I have to go to 200 here, so it loops. You can make in the normal noise, a movement as well, but it's very hard to loop this later. So it's maybe a little too high. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, I save this. Yeah, with the noise, with the let's go to the. Just show you in the displacer shading field. You have here a movement with the speed and the direction, but it's very hard, as I said, to bring this to loop. But a nice trick, if you can't loop something, then the best trick is you render your project in different camera angles. You start 2 seconds in this angle, 2 seconds in this angle, 2 seconds in this angle, and so you never see if it loops or not. So this is the lazy thing. Exactly the thing I like it. Okay, of course I try always to loop something, but if I have no idea how to loop, I just make a second and a third camera angle and that's it. Okay, so yeah, now let's start with the, yeah, here the next thing is we cannot go further down or further up with this, like we do it with when we subtract the cube from the, we can go down, we can go up with it, so that we have just a little bit of the cube. This is not possible here. If we want to do this with a smaller, or even until here or something else, we would have to cut our hemisphere until here and then make it. So we cannot go down with the sea level. Or can we? Let's see, maybe we can, but I wouldn't know how this should work. Interactions, no, I think no, there is nothing, but it would be somehow, I don't know how we could do this. Anyways, now let's start with the foam thing. And this is now the physical render part, because in Octane we do it, in Octane it's easier. Physical render part, I have two ideas. This is one idea is the ambient occlusion, and the other idea is the terrain maps, terrain mask it's called. And yeah, so let's start with this. Save again and make a simple material here, just to see if it works what we want to do. So make this a red material, dark red, bring it on our measure here. So, and now I want with white, I want some foam on it. Good. How can we do this? I start with the ambient occlusion. Effects, ambient occlusion. So, and I want here, first I go down with the max ray length, and we have to render this. We don't see this in the preview. So, render settings, I go here to a physical render and put in a physical render and set it fixed to, that's more than enough. We don't need more here. And yeah, it's a pity I cannot, in R25 you can't make your whole settings here, and normally in earlier versions you make all your settings you like, then you save it as a new project file, so that when you open every time you have immediately all your settings here. Here in R25 it's not possible, because when you make something with GI or ambient occlusion, every time when I open the project new, it says the ambient occlusion does not work, the GI does not work, blah blah blah. So that's totally stupid. But I'm surprised that nobody tells this somewhere. Okay, anyway, so I have this physical, this is enough, and make my interactive render settings. Here I see nothing. So I have to invert the direction first. There's something I see here, and what I have to do is I invert the gradient as well. Now you see we get something. We have our foam, because we have a lot of small details in here. We get a lot of foam here. We can go a little up with the contrast. Then self-shadowing, yes. Evaluate transparency, in this case not. Later with water, yes. And here we can play more. Let's see. I wanted just 5, so I'd get less of the foam here. 90. Yeah, so that looks nice on the sides with the foam and inside. And to get this working with the color, simply set this to add. And you see I have my foam. Now I can go back here to make this a little... Yeah, and I have my foam shader. This would be the first thing. So I get on every tips here, on the edge I get my foam, which really looks nice. The second way is a terrain mask. I hope this works here better. So the terrain mask is under effects and all the way down here. So I'm sure I can somehow not come to it. Let's see. Effects. I have no idea how I can. I have to. It's down there, so I can go to my other monitor and try get here to the effects. It's all the way down in the last quarter. So now I have it here. This is the terrain mask. So as I said, effects and down here. In the terrain mask, we have to say the altitude, how high. So we have a 200 meters sphere, centimeter sphere. So I go here to, and this is halfway, so I go to minus 100, or minus 50 to plus 50 at the moment. Minus 50 to plus 50. Let's see if we see something. We see nothing. Then the slope, max slope, I make this quite high, so I get, okay, I see I have something, but here it shows in the correct direction, here not. This, so let's simply invert it here, or go here to minus y. But when I invert it here, I have something. So I go back to the max slope of 20. This is not what I want. Max altitude to 100. We will get there, believe me. No, this 50 should be okay here. So. Maybe the minus. Yeah, okay, that's better. You see, we have a nice map here. And soften here. We go all the way up to 100. Here we can go up to 100 as well. So we get a nice soft thing here. A little more. And this is a really nice foam map here. At least I think so. You can go even further here, 40. And to make something like little bubbles in this foam. So this, you see, this is the resolution of our thing. We can go up with the resolution here. I think that makes it smoother. So I go to my volume measure here and put it in a subdivision surface, but be careful. So this is already very high subdivided, so I would recommend. Normally I click Alt subdivide and then it makes automatically, but here I do it in 2 ways. First, but I always have it at default at 1, so it's quite safe, but you never know. So now I drag it in. So and that should, I'm not sure if that makes it smoother. Yeah, definitely. Okay. And we have a nice, oh yeah, I wanted to bring in some bubbles. For this we have here a noise. The noise height I get to go to 100 centimeter. And a scale of very small scale, so let's say 5. You see, you get something like bubbles. Yeah, I like this. So this is the foam map I did. So we don't have on the sides a foam, do the same like with the ambient occlusion. We don't have here on the sides foam, we have it just where we need it. Okay. And now we try to make a quiet usable render. That you have to play by your own with the settings later, because it's you can spend so much time to refine everything. And in the tutorial, when I would do it, I would sit here forever. But let's try to make a quick, nice thing here. So I bring in my Nikomedias Scene Rig, of course, so that I have something to reflect and so on. I don't need here. Do I need anything? I don't need anything here. So I just need the reflectance and so on. And now I want here, of course, I now render with GI. So I go to global illumination, and here go to quasi Monte Carlo. That's okay. For ambient occlusion, I don't need here. So and I work with the terrain mask. I like the terrain mask here more than the ambient occlusion, but maybe later on. But don't forget in the ambient occlusion to activate the transparency thing. So okay. Yeah, I want here, of course, now a glass material, transparency. Transparency, we have it here. So it should be like water. So now 1.3. So see, this is water. This is so far so good. Here the absorption color, we can make it a little bluish. And let's see what we get here if we render this. Oh, we get something. I don't want to see the refraction in this water here from the studio in the background. So I go to my Nikomedia settings and scene by refraction off. I decided later if I wanted, and at the moment not. At the moment it's more interesting how do we get the foam inside here. We cannot put this simply as a, let's say here, let's make this white and put the color with it. That brings nothing. Maybe when we go with the transparency down a little bit. It covers everything here, you see. So, but what we can do is, we go to the color, I copy this terrain mask here, go to the luminance channel, and here in the luminance I paste it in. And you see, we get our foam. It's perfect. But you only see it when you go down with the brightness. Here, if you have 100 brightness, you won't see it because there is nothing. But if you go down a little bit, you will see the foam here. And now let's bring in some environment so we can say nothing. So let's make here a little mountain thing, something. Very easy thing. So first of all, let's make a little socket like I did it in the original one here. So NQ to hide the materials so that it can better work with it. We can hide these two guys as well. And let's make this. This is a very simple thing with the. How do I have sphere? Sphere, so bring it out. Make a very quick. Come on, how it's called? A very quick socket. Let's hide this guy for the moment, and here I make a hemisphere. Bring back the lines with NB. I don't need as many, so 50 is more than enough here. Make it editable. See on the keyboard. Then UL in polygon mode, I set UL for loop selection, and let's see how high it's let's see, this one here or here. Okay, UF for fill selection, UF. So when I click now, it would select all the polygons which are white now, and when I hit the shift key, so it adds it to this thing. But we can delete later on a little bit. So I just make this and delete the polygons. So done. Now I go in edge mode. This is a very lazy thing what I do again. UL for loop selection. Whoops, loop selection, nice. Then T for scale. I hold my control key and scale it up. I make some, or don't have to make some, oops, control key and let's say to, how far do we go? 140. How far is this? Let's bring in this back here so we see something. Yeah, this should be nice. Good. Now I go to my move tool, E, and hold my control key and drag this down here. 20, or maybe 25. So okay, nice. Now P for scale again and control key and scale this to the inside. So yeah, we can scale it. Don't even have to close it because we don't see it here. So that's our socket. Very complicated thing. Of course we want here some bevels or rounded edges. So we go select this, go to our bevel deformer. The bevel deformer is down here. So Shift C, bevel, and hold my shift key and double click it. So I have my bevel deformer. You see it only works here because I have here my angle threshold at 40 degrees. This is nice, I want it like this. So here, and make it 3. I'll simply go down here with 40 degrees until I see the next, and that's it. Have everything I need. Give it one more, we are splendid. So, okay. Save. Now we have our socket. Now let's name it socket. Now let's make something like a landscape. It would be nice to use our landscape here, but it's not really possible to use the landscape object, because in the landscape object I have cannot make. I want a plane polygon in the middle of the scene and around the hills. This is here not possible. What I can do is this, but I want it here plain, and here I don't have any fields, so where can make it plain. So that doesn't really work. It works kind of when you use the deformer in an effector, but we don't need to make our own thing here. First of all, I want this whole thing with the socket on Alt G. I want this on the null, and this here at the null. We can simply drag it up. Move tool, drag it up. But there is another nice free plugin called Drop to Floor. You will find it on my website as well. And it's free and it does everything in the null. Drag, drop to floor, and it sets it exactly on the null point here. Okay. As I said, link on my website. And yeah, now let's make this. I make a simple plane. So a polygon in my case again. 2000 by 2000 by 20 or so. Okay, let's displace this. This is our landscape. Okay, and yeah, displace this asset. So we need to displace, we need a displacer, and the displacer is down there. I don't know what. Okay, Shift C, displacer, so shading again, our nice noise here. It does something, you see. And the thing here is to show what I mean. So of course we go to here to world. It's quite big, so make 2000 here and go high. I will utilize another thing, but the thing what I want here is now, so I want only intensity. Don't want to go, I don't want to go down. So this is now what I have here is this. So here in the displacer I have again fields, and I use a spherical field, and it is exactly the opposite what I want. So, but make it immediately bigger. So, and you can imagine when I go to the here to the remapping, invert it, and now I have here the plane, and that's what I like. So make this a little bigger again. Fields bigger, so that when I have an eye. That looks promising. Maybe a different seed here. Whoops, 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 or different. Oh, that looks nice. You can, of course, different noises. So something crazy like the dance here. And make the displacer higher. Looks nice. You could now bring this in a subdivision. Here. Come on, am I stupid or what? So this, so. But for the moment I don't need it, because I wanna put some displacement on our landscape as well. But here it's always a problem in the physical render when you work with displacement anyway, when you work with displacement, you need a lot of subdivisions always, and the shader of course too. But for now, we will do this anyway. So that looks kind of nice. Let's see the note here a little bit. So let's try this different seed again. This is not the seed I want. That looks nice. There's not so much, but it looks nice. I like this, and leave it. Save it. And yeah, and we need now an HDRI for our lighting, a nice one. So let's go to an outdoor HDRI. This one with the clouds and with the sun, this could work quite well. Bring it into here. Let's see what we get so far. Oh. Of course we are not ready now. So okay. So with this glass we have to let's another thing I want to see in the background, the sky. So let's NQ to bring back my thing, so I see the background here. See? And I don't want to see this desert here, so the vertical. This is cannot. Yeah, I can try out different seeds so that I don't see. It would work when I go to here, and this is no problem. And, let's see. So how does this look? That looks not bad with the sun rays here. Okay, but we have to do something with the glass. Let's see what we can do here. In the transparent channel, so in the reflectance, we need the reflectance channel on. But this does not make a lot of difference. So I delete this, we don't need this. The reflectance here and the transparency, go to the 0. This is okay. This is okay. We could make this darker if smaller this absorption distance is. Darker this should be. But this is not the thing I want now. We can try to give this a little color. But it looks all too. And we need definitely what we need is some bump in this thing. So go to the bump channel, noise. Again, my Naki noise. I always like the Naki first. So. Or Gaussian is nice too for water and things. Don't forget we have a very low resolution render here. So okay, but let's try to bring in. It's always a little difficult with physics render. Let's a little subsurface scattering. Yeah, it's down there. I have to go to the other monitor. It's under effects, subsurface scattering. So that should make it quite dark. You see it here. And let's go. First, I go to fast evaluation. Here we can use some, I don't know, some milk or that doesn't matter. So just to have something, and as smaller this number, as better the result will be, but as longer it will render. So we of course want here something bluish. And now I go up here with the strength 500. It's always hard here with this. That looks better now. Let's go back to the transparency and I'll go up here and 100 here. And so you have, this is the part where you have to try and try and try and try. Yeah, that looks nice. But somehow we lost our FOMO, I think. Huh? Let's go to the luminance, dry mask. Let's try here and add. And now is the brightness. No, that's not the way. So maybe multiply. and go up with the brightness. It get a nice look, but it's not my... Ah, now we get foam back. Now we see the foam. Okay. I can try. I made one here. Let's see how this looks. This was my first try, but maybe that looks usable. Water and foam. It's exactly the same. I'm not sure if I did this. Yeah, it's with the TM, with the TM mask. Bring this on. Huh? Ah, here is it. No, come on, where is it? This is the landscape. This is the socket. This is our... So here I need this one. No, this one is better. This is by far better. And we see foam here, so this is not just reflections, this is foam. And good, the refraction does not do a lot, so we can turn it off. Then we're looking for a nice material for the landscape. So here, let's see what I have here under stone. This is on Patreon as well, so how does this look here? And bring this on our landscape. This won't work immediately, so when we render this, good, we can now hide our sphere here, so we don't have to render this sphere. We should get a quicker that looks not so bad at all. But it has no displacement. You see, we have here displacement, not as much, so let's say 5, but we have no subdivisions. We could work here with the subdivisional level and set this to about, I don't know how high we can go. Let's try 5. Let's try 10. And it's longer. Makes no difference. No, it's rendering. But I think the better way would be we simply give our displaced this geometry more subdivisions here. So we go to our landscape, and after the displacer here, we can subdivide this again. We can now go again we can, I do this with the nodes, of course. So I go to the nodes and modifier and to subdivide and bring it under the displacer. So you see, I can displace this, can subdivide this, and it does not smooth, it just subdivides. When I go to here and say smooth, does this something? It gives me something like this, but I want just subdivide. And now let's see what we get with the material. Let's go to 20 or something else to see something. We have a very big, we will say with 2000 by 2000. 30. Okay, I think a different mapping would be better. But this will patch. So let's go here to 200, here to 10. These artifacts, there is little. We get more and more and more, so we can 0. So we can disable this. Yeah. But that looks not so bad. But now it could be that our socket isn't on the floor anymore. The socket we should. Why don't we see the socket? That is the landscape, and where is? Here is the socket. Ah, come on, here. So. No, it's not. You see it? Not on the floor now, because of the displacement. But it's okay here. If we activate here now an ambient occlusion, we should get a nice contact shadow here. Let's see if it's true. And here in the ambient occlusion, evaluate transparency. This you should do in the when you work with the foam with the ambient occlusion, and on glass you should do the same. Now let's see if we get here. Yeah, this looks better, but it's too much. So a ray length of maximum 20 maybe. So we can again render this without the sphere. It renders much faster. Still too much. 10. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe not so prominent. So okay, good. Minus 20. Yeah, now it's. And I want, of course, something for the socket as well here. Material. For this I make a simple chromium material now. So let's go to here. Double click, zack, double click, and no color reflectance all the way up. GGX is fine. Fresnel, conductor, and here we go to chromium. So the conductor chromium, bang. This is 5 maybe so, and put it on our socket. Whoops. Let's see what we get. We get chromium. But somehow I'm not happy with the lighting here, so we rotate this even a little bit. Yeah, this could look nice with the sphere. Yeah, that's a nice water. It's really a nice water. This is water and foam. And foam, TM, journal mask. So, 2. So let's go. Whoops. Go to my fluids here and save it. Yep. Okay. And I don't want to see this in the background, so again, whoops, and go back to my thing and go here to 0 again. Maybe I make a different seed here so that I don't see the background. Well, I could of course hide it, so, but then I have a black, and this is not what I want. But we can very easily fix this. This is turn this off. So, and yeah, simply go again here. Let's make a nice camera for now. So, and put the camera in. The camera I want here to 0. Here, let's say -20 or something else. Here to 0. It should be in the X0, but it does not look like NA. Yeah, I know it. So NA. No, come on. Why it stays inside? This is the next thing. Normally when I click outside, it should be away. So, and now NA, I want to hide. NQ. This does not look for me as it would be in the middle here. 0. 0. This is further away than maybe because of the, let's bring in here. No, even the socket is not in the middle. Let's go to the whole thing here. Here in socket. They are not at the X in the correct way. Okay. So I take this here, the socket, and drag them to the side. So I have here the hyper. Okay, I can go to the grid here and give the grid even more. Now I see here and here exactly where am I. So okay, now I am happy. So then the sphere and the socket coordinates. Yeah, you see we are now on almost. Let's go to 0 here, and then it's we are back. Okay, back in business. Here on the socket I have seen something which is, I think, wrong. So bring back, go, because the material does not really work with the chroma material, I think. So I go in my, see, yeah, here I Control A. You see the normals are wrong. They're facing in the wrong direction. This was because of our modeling here. So, but it's simply with Control A, you select all the polygons. You are, and you are done. So, and I think because I thought the chromium, it looks not really like it should look. now we have the green because we moved our sky a little. Yeah, this is now better. This is definitely better. So, yeah. And I want a camera here of 80. So, tweak. So now we don't have the problem here. So first something like that, and render it. We still have a little brown thing with, but this I correct with my HDRI setting here. NQ, I have to bring this. NQ, bring that back here. Now I can place. A great color for the water. Yep, so I think we are done for the yeah, maybe this bump here in the water is a little too strong or too small. I think too small. Yeah, I think it looks better with a bigger noise here. Yep, I like it more. And yeah, and now this is the play. I have some tutorials where I work with glass and water in physical render, so maybe you watch them. But I don't know now exactly which one this was. Transparency, back to transparency to 80 here. So everything should get a little darker. Okay. I think this is the subdivision, so I'm not entirely sure. Oh, now we see our foam better. But we get lots of artifacts from the environment. Yeah, you should play here with. I do the same. I just play here, so because I use this so rarely. And now the foam is gone, so it's a little background. We know now here we get more foam as darker we are. Yeah, now we have a little foam here. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, I would say we leave it like this. The important way here is how to make the ocean thing. So this was the part for the physical render, and now let's get to the part for Octane Render. In the Octane Render it's much easier. So Good. We need nothing from here, so we can delete this. So go back. First I make here save project with asset. Go on my desktop. Octane PR. Yeah, the Octane version you can already download from Patreon. So now I can delete this here. Nikomedias Scene Rig, bye bye. Octane Rig, hello. Yeah, don't need background, don't need, okay. HDRI, we will use the same like before, I think. So, I'm not sure, but this is the same. It does not remember. When I go now, it stays here. It should remember which folder is the thumbnail or the list. Today S26 should come out. I am really, yeah, I'm looking forward. No, looking forward is not the right one. I'm curious with what we will get disappointed. But maybe we get really a nice surprise. Of course, I am looking forward anyway. So this is this. We don't need this whole subdivisions here in the, for the Octane Render. And yeah, so let's make a glass material. No, we make a new material, we make a composite material. So a composite material, and here one material for the water and one material for the foam. So nothing easier than that. So material 1, submaterial will be specular material, GGX, and the second material, submaterial, could be a normal diffuse material, white, but always use GGX. So we can change this of course later on. So and let's put this on our sphere here. Oh, make it so that our sphere. And let's see what we get. So I save this as I saved it before. So let's go to damn. Ocean Sphere tutorial. Okay. No. I need the live viewer. The Octane dialogue, and put the dialogue up to here for now. So. Okay. And let's see what we get. Good, we get something. Great. And then we utilize here a curvature map for the foam. But first, let's see what we can make here. So I'm going to medium absorption, so scattering medium. Want a nice thing here. So absorption, RGB spectrum, and make it bluish. Okay, some scattering. Yeah, this is Octane. Okay, then a little bump here, noise, and give it a nucky noise. Nucky, 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 nucky. Nice. Then now we have this white. Bring in a curvature map. Curvature. And now let's see how we get this full strength all the way up. 5. Radius. Up, 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 up. Up, up, up. Then the tolerance. Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. And it works, it works, it works, it works. We have our foam. This is so great. And so simple to do, you see. Save. Here now I can my scattering medium and right. Yeah, here now you can play whatever you want. This is so many possibilities. Okay, I take that, maybe scatter this a little more. Yeah, that is total on you how you want to do it. So I stay with this because you see this the foam was the important thing, and this is so easy here. And of course I can now let's go back to that. We can make this bubbles in this foam. Let's try to make some bubbles in the. Look at this nice foam thing. This is great. This should work when we make here a subtract thing here. Come on. Subtract. And here we use the noise again. Yeah, make the dense and make it quite small. And you see we get, oh, that looks nice, hey. That looks great. We can make it even smaller here in the transform. Go a little down here again. Yeah, this only would be a nice picture. So save it now. Let's bring in some material for the Octane material. What do I have here? Stone. In the original one I used this one here. But we can try this 9 we did with the other one, so let's try it, see how it looks here. Okay, not good. Drag it on the landscape. So, and save it and render it. Okay. Save it and render it. That's nice, but it's very harsh. Yes, so Good. Display size, so let's go. Maybe we can make here round corners, but it's not really necessary because because we can put this in a subdivision surface, the landscape. So yeah, that looks nice. Look at this. Now a simple metal material here. I can go to my Octane materials as well. So okay. Octane materials, metal. We have lots of metal here. Lots of metals, but I don't need to see the textures. It doesn't matter. Chromium. I have a real chromium. No, real chromium don't have. Aluminium. These are the real materials with the real settings. I want to show you this. So when I go to the aluminium and open it, let's stop this other way. Here in the aluminium you get in the IR, you see you have here the correct values inside for every real material here. These are okay, but now this doesn't have to be a real material. Delete the aluminium here, chromium on our socket, and hit render. It calculates the displacement here, and we have a wonderful. And if we play, see we have our foam, and if we want more foam, material. If we want more foam, we can go simply with the radius up, with the curvature radius, or tolerance up or down, down, and you get nice foam here everywhere. Here with the offset as well, you can play. So wonderful things. Okay, this was the Octane part. the PR, the physical render part took about 10 times longer, so long. You know what I mean? Okay, we are done. I hope you like this one. And yeah, if you have questions, requests, complaints, please let me know here in the comments or my Facebook site, email, whatever, our Facebook group, wherever you can find me, you can write me. And yeah, don't forget, maybe you think about to go to my Patreon and subscribe to my Patreon. As I said, you have meanwhile 3,301. Today it will be 3,302 because it will stay with 3,301 because I just update the download project file and add the physical render project file to it. So it will stay at 331 for now. Okay. Yeah, and I will upload, if I don't forget, the scripts for the make circling, make quotes, blah 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 thing. And that's it for now. Yeah, okay. The next tutorial I cannot promise, but I think it will be on weekend. I am the first day after 9 days, the first day negative. And yeah, and so I for sure will be tomorrow out for a beer or 17. Okay. Oh, my Uso. Good. Have a wonderful day, and yeah, have a wonderful evening with wherever you are. And hope you are with me in my next tutorial. And thanks to all my supporters, and thanks to everyone who watched my videos. So thank you very, very, very much. Okay, all the best here from Austria, Vienna, and tschüss und baba.